Is your street photography feeling a little bit stagnant? Is it feeling a little bit stale? And are you kind of wondering what you are doing when you're going out with your camera, finding it hard to capture things with your camera? I come to you today with a solution for this problem. Something that's been working really well for me is going out and setting myself a little assignment for the afternoon, for the evening, for the day, even if it's just for a couple of hours, just setting myself a task and an assignment. Now, the assignment doesn't need to be massive, just needs to be something that you set your goal on, set your sights on, and then head out and capture it. These assignments, these little tasks can be anything. For instance, it can be going out and capturing a specific color. It can be going out and setting yourself the task of setting up at bus stops and only capturing people at bus stops or capturing things around the bus stop. This works really great when you're struggling to get off your couch and get into the streets to do some street photography. And this is something that I am doing this afternoon. Into the evening, I've set myself a little task, a little street assignment. Now, I have with me today the Xpro1 and the Fuji 35 1.4. I have a couple batteries and I'm going to go out and shoot my assignment, which is shapes. All right, so the first shape that I've come across is a phone box. It is a nice rectangular shape and it's got some graffiti on it. I'll try and capture that. Maybe I'll wait for a human to pass by and give it that little bit of life. Next up, when using shapes, you can always add a little bit of colour in as well. So I've got these triangles in here, a little purple and orange. I can try and capture someone in the middle of that, and that should be pretty good. That's a nice little shape to use. So a little technique that you can use whilst on your lookout for shapes and when you're not looking for shapes is a little technique called subframing. Now, obviously you have your main frame and within that you have different layers, and subframing is using a shape in the world to subframe your subject. Now, obviously this adds another element to your street photography. It adds a bit more depth within the photo, and it's really important that you start to use that when doing a little bit of street photography. You don't need to use it all the time, but it's a helpful little tool if you want to add something more to your photo. And the more elements you have within your street photo, the more interesting it can become. The more the viewer will start to look deeper into your photo, as there'll be natural layers, there'll be more depth, there'll be more to take in and more to observe, more to witness, and the story will unfold as their eyes pass over the photo. And there are obviously a lot of masters out there who are fantastic at doing that. I'm learning still how to do that, but that is essentially what you're looking for, using shapes to subframe. All right, so another little tip is to get different angles. So you want to get up high, you want to get down low, you want to try everything. You want to try different angles for different shots, for different viewpoints, and it starts to add, again, a little bit more depth to your photography. I found this little spot here. As you can see, this little bench, nice little curve, and there are people walking by, so I'm going to try and capture it. Oh, there we go. And there we have it. I can crop in a little bit, but it's pretty handy. All right. So it's sometimes easier to see shapes and patterns from a bird's eye point of view as you're kind of looking down on the world. And yeah, for some reason, for me, I start to see shapes a little bit more and patterns when up high. Again, another little bench here. That might be pretty good with all these shapes. So we entered a little shopping area and found these little doors. And you can see there's a nice little square rectangle here with the light and pedestrians walking past. Some nice leading lines going down. So yeah, let's see. Get this little one. So you can see this little circle in the window. There's also a nice little reflection, a nice mirrored reflection as well. So it'll be really good to use the 3514 on this. Sorry. So yeah, let's try and capture this. There's also another, so you've got the mirrored, and you've also got a nice little circle on the outside as well, and pedestrians walking past, so we can try and capture that. We'll go with that. I really love this kind of photography. It is purpose driven. I'm out here with an assignment, a task. I'm here to capture some shapes, and within that, it will propel the street photography forward as there is a certain vision in my head. I'm creating visions, and because there is purpose. A lot of street photography, I find, is a bit more chaotic. You're moving with the streets. You're flowing through, a bit more fast-paced because you're constantly on the lookout for something. I tend to be constantly moving, and I think a lot of great street photographers are stationary for a little while and they work the scene, which is something that I'd like to work on, and something which I think is really important when it comes to street photography is working the scene rather than just kind of moving through the streets and getting those steps up. So yeah, what one are you? Are you more purpose driven? Are you going out with a vision in mind? Are you a little bit more slow when it comes to street photography? Or are you constantly moving around, hitting an insane amount of steps and just wandering the cities and towns that you're in? So I am using the 35mm prime, which is the equivalent of 50mm in full frame. So it's a little bit harder to get architectural shots, wide angled shots with life moving through. However, I'm making it work with what I got, and it's important to work with the scene and to work with the lens that you're using. Just because you might not be able to fit everything in, it's important to try and adapt to the scene and adapt to your lens. That is how you become better. That is how you hone your skills. So I'm here in front of the winter garden. You can see a nice little shape here. We've got some nice water fountains in front, nice big bowls. And yeah, we'll try and capture this with the 15mm with some life moving through. So what you need to try and do is, especially with a prime lens, especially when you're not using a zoom, is to move your feet. There's lots of distractions. I've got this tree in the way, I've got these lamp posts with the lights on. It's all kind of in the way, so you need to move, get down low, move your camera. With the Xpro1, there's no flip out screen, so I have to kind of lay down if I want to get down really low. But something might work. And moving over here, I found that there was a security guard just poking his head out. He was in red as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's just about kind of trying different angles. And if I move backwards in front of this restaurant where everyone's eating, looks pretty good in there, I can then start to fill the frame a little bit more and move. I don't want to be shooting at f8. But then you can sit down a little bit, and maybe you can see that there's nice lines. Oh, there's a person coming through, and that's probably out of focus. That would have been pretty decent. So yeah, little tip, just move your feet if you're not using a zoom lens. Even if you are using a zoom lens, just try different angles until you find the shot that works with the scene. As you can see, I'm crouching and I'm trying to just frame it up a little bit. So yeah, now we wait for a candidate. We wait for a human to pass on through the frame, and then we'll get it. Alright, the next little spot that I found is an old parking lot. There's a nice little shape there. Very, very, very cool. Lots of nice lines. And I'm thinking about using this line here, the ramp going up to the car park. Hopefully there'll be some pedestrians walking through, although it is a quiet area. So I might be waiting here a little while, but I do like the line going up, a nice shape of it. So I'm going to try and see what we can get. I won't be using that. But yeah, let's see if we can make this scene work. So I've just found the final spot for this street assignment. It's in amongst the bushes. There's some nice colours around here. The shape of the path. There's an orange in there, a red, and I'm hoping to find someone at the end of that kind of like spiral. Is it a spiral? I don't know. It just looks cool. Nice little curved lane, but I'm running out of battery. So let's see. Maybe that's in focus, I'm not too sure. You saw the red flashing on the camera. Yeah. All right, that is the end of the video, and that is the end of the shapes street assignment for myself. It is something a little bit different. I don't think any of these photos are going to win any awards, but it's got me out the house and I've had a goal. I've had something in mind to work towards, and yeah, it's been a good little photo walk. Side point, I absolutely love using the Fujifilm Xpro1. What a dream to use. Really kind of slows down your photography, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to use. I was using half manual, half autofocus, just because I couldn't see for the life of me if it was in focus or not when in manual mode, which is a little bit of a pain. I only had 2 batteries left from the Fujifilm kit, one from the Xpro1, and then I had a leftover one that I found, which had fallen down the side of my desk. So I had 2, which is thankful. But the Fujifilm Xpro1 doesn't charge off the mains. You have to use a dedicated battery charger, which I no longer have. So I've just gone onto Amazon and yeah, I've just ordered one, which comes with a few more batteries, which should be good. Fun shooting experience with the Xpro1 and having an assignment for the afternoon. And yeah, if you are struggling to get out, if you're struggling to know what to shoot, if you're feeling a little bit stagnant, just set yourself a little street assignment, get yourself out and complete the task. It's all learning, it's all fun and games, but you definitely need to be practicing and honing your skills for photography if this is your thing. Whether or not you're in a large city, a nice bustling city, or in a really small town, or even a village, setting yourself that assignment might help you a lot. And you don't have to do one every single day, but every time you go out for a street photo walk, maybe every other time, just set yourself a little goal, set yourself that little assignment and start working towards something. And you never know, at the end of it, you might have a body of work which you can print, you can create a little something from it. Look back and know that those dedicated photo walks, you know, they really meant something. Having that little bit of purpose with your street photography can do the world of good. But yeah, for all those who have watched to the end, thank you, really appreciate it. Just remember to stay creative, get framing, and keep on adventuring on the web and streets. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.